Hi there, everyone. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A Teague of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo! Busy weekend.
That's one word for it.
Tiring weekend.
That's another word for it. Probably a better one.
Oh my goodness. So we're someplace different.
We are someplace different.
And we're going to be someplace different for a while.
Yes, we are.
Because we're in the middle of a move.
Yes.
Some of you know that, some of you don't. We are moving. We are moved.
We are moved. We've got our stuff. We just got to get everything put away.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Molly Puppy is slightly confused.
Yes. But she seems to be adapting quickly because she's with mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And, as long as she got her people with her, she's fine.
Right now she's snoozing.
Yes, she is. That's how you know she's fine.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about something that I've always actually wanted to do this. And when I asked you what we should talk about today, your reply was?
Nothing.
Yeah. So, as George Costanza said, the show is about
nothing.
Nothing. I know many of you out there love Seinfeld. So do we. And when the interesting part of that part of the show, because from that point on, everybody described Seinfeld as the show about nothing.
Show about nothing.
The interesting thing, though, is when Jerry Seinfeld and I forget who it was that he actually pitched the show with.
Larry David.
Yes, Larry David. When they pitched the show to NBC, it was the exact opposite of nothing. It was, this is going to be a show about where comedians get their material from. And that's what it was. It was you following Jerry's life and seeing where he would get all the comedy bits that he would use in his show from, because people couldn't believe when he would tell them, no, literally I talk about what happens in my life, and they're like, no, you don't. No, that's what it was about.
Just about every comedian does.
Yeah. And so when George says, it's a show about nothing, really that's what it is. It's not like there's a whole lot of drama. It's not like there's a whole lot of excitement. It's not like there's a whole lot of action going on. It's just people living their lives. And that's a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Well, but that's where the best comedy comes from, is from regular life and being able to see the absurdity of it all. And, that's why, I know for me, I find the humor in lots of stuff, to the point where one time in one of my teaching evaluations, which it blew my mind when I read it, a student wrote that I found everything to be funny and I laughed too much. Okay.
Actually, my favorite part, because you used to tell a lot of jokes.
I did.
In the beginning, and actually in the beginning, you were still plugged in to what was going on in modern society and on TV and in the movies and stuff like that.
Very much.
You had a lot of relevant.
Yes, and they were my own jokes. I had a lot of fresh material.
And then as time went on, you did not keep up.
No.
You jumped off the train. And the jokes aged, and your students did not.
Some of my jokes I kept recycling, and they reached a point where they aged out.
Nobody knew what he was talking about.
They didn't get the references. Plus, the students' collective sense of humor changed.
Well, and that's the point. Is in the beginning it was funny.
Oh my gosh!
They kept up with, and there was a lot of synergy there.
Right.
By the end, that was not the case.
Yeah, when I was teaching classes at Florida State, and I had that big 150 seat classroom. It looked almost like a Grateful Dead concert. There were so many tape recorders there in all the front rows. And it was students who were recording the lectures so they could listen to them over, but there are also some of the students who were recording to get the jokes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to your last few years when you were at Pitt Johnstown. There were times when you couldn't tell the jokes.
No, I would have a funny thought would pop into my head, or one of my jokes would be relevant for what I was talking about. And I would, say to the class, I just thought of something funny. And I would stand there and I go, yeah, too bad you missed it.
Yeah.
Cause I couldn't share them because there was a risk that somebody would take offense with it. Yeah. So those jokes I just kept to myself.
Yep. They're very different.
Yeah.
Different mentality.
Yeah. My sense of humor in the classroom, outside of, again, simply amusing myself in my own head, disappeared. That was also one of the reasons when I realized that maybe teaching was no longer my calling.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Is because you realized the classroom and young adults is not your ideal audience.
No, because they have no sense of humor.
No.
They're way too serious, and it's unfortunate. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Everybody should have some humor in their lives. But learning to laugh, especially at yourself.
Oh yeah.
And that was the worst part. Was most of my jokes were directed at me, and they would still take exception with it, which I found bizarre.
And getting back to Seinfeld, a lot of those jokes were
directed at them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
they were busy laughing at themselves. Yeah.
And so having a show about nothing was ideal.
Yeah.
Because it gives you an opportunity to poke fun at yourself.
Yeah.
And to poke fun of what's going on around you. And so that's what it was about.
And the realization that we all do dumb things. Yeah. I mean, we all do things. You can't help it. It's the human condition. We're going to do things, say things, see things that are just funny that you should laugh at. I mean, there's enough negativity in the world, and there's a lot of bad things happening. And don't get me wrong. I understand hurricane people, are suffering. And, some people say, oh, how can you laugh at a time when that's going on? Like, well, sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying, especially when you have multiple unpleasant things going on at the same time. Yeah. If you let that dominate your thoughts, it'll drive you nuts.
Yeah,
and it'll turn you into a negative person that nobody wants to be around.
We've got one of our friends, Christy from karate. They live down in South Carolina. They just got their power back on.
Oh wow!
Though they still don't have running water though, and nothing drains anywhere. But she was some of the posts that she had on Facebook were of her boys using pool noodles and broomsticks to have sword fights. Okay. So, and that's it.
Still finding ways to entertain themselves.
And that's what you have to do. I mean, because life can just be way too serious if you let it be.
And that's, and that's what I found over the years is, as things change, I was thinking the other day about music and, how for me, I kind of jumped off the music train about 1995, but that was, still got grunge in there. And I don't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about that and I said, I won't change the channel if I hear a Nirvana song come on, but at the same time, I don't seek it out just because I'm no longer in that space mentally. When you listen to those songs, you listen to those lyrics, they are depressing.
I am very fortunate in that when I lived in Germany, that's when grunge happened.
Yeah, so you kind of missed it.
And I missed it.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly happy that happened.
Nope, I was in the States when it hit.
I can't stand it.
And in the beginning, it was very interesting. It was different. But now I listen to it, and like I said, I'm not in that headspace anymore. And there's some great bands. Don't get me wrong. Alice in Chains is a great band. Pearl Jam, great band. But like I said, I left that space. And like I said, I have a hard time even listening to that music anymore. So even some of the ones, it's like U2. I know there's a lot of people out there love U2. Believe me, I've seen U2 live a couple of times. But I find the older I get, the less I can relate to their songs. And so that they're a band that I will switch the station unless it's their very, very early stuff. For me, it just doesn't work anymore.
No, I still love listening to U2. So one of the reasons why I thought we should talk about, how the show is about nothing and how life can happen and nothing can happen, and that's perfectly fine, is when people are running their business, sometimes nothing happens.
It's true. That's a bad place to be.
And that can be, yes. And when that happens, that can be bad. And especially if your productivity is going down, if morale is going down, if your team engagement is going down because nothing is happening. That can be signs that maybe, just maybe, you need something to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what we can help with.
Yeah, we can help with that.
So what could we do if somebody had low productivity or somebody had low team engagement? What are some of the things that we can do?
We can help them identify the reasons, the causes, and see how we can take care of those issues to help improve the situation.
Okay. All right. And we offer speaking, coaching, and training services. So if people need help, because recently I had somebody reach out to me, they had some conflict going on with their team. And that's a perfect time to reach out to us, because when conflict happens, the team gets wrapped up in the conflict, and then nothing happens on the job. Nothing happens with the business because of the conflict that's going on. And that's when you definitely need some help.
Yeah.
And we can help with that. Had somebody reach out to us because they needed help with accountability, because people said that they would do stuff and then they did
nothing.
And so that's another area that we can help with. We can help hold people accountable for what they say they're going to do. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff that we can help you with. If they wanted to reach out to us and get help in those areas, how could they do that?
Well, they could call us on the phone. There's our number, 412-420-7975. They could send us a text message at that same phone number. They could also send us an email, info@ateagueofyourown.com.
Yep.
They can go to our website, ateagueofyourown.com. Kind of convenient. Yeah. Also, you can reach us through social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel with all of these videos on there that you can peruse at your leisure. And all we ask is, if you do visit us on any of the websites, please like and subscribe.
Yep. We appreciate that. All right. So let us know if nothing is happening in your life or in your business, and what we can do to possibly change that for you, because we're more than happy to help you out in those areas. All right. Until then, we'll see you guys next week, and maybe it'll be a slightly different view.
Probably.
I hope so.
I would think so.
Yes.
I can just about guarantee it.
Yes. Maybe there won't be boxes where we want to be. So, all right. We will see you next week. Have a great one.